Welcome. We are here tonight to celebrate 80 years of District 7 Toastmasters. When I thought about that, wow, 80 sounds really old. At least it used to. Now that I'm 70 years old, I'm hoping those people who say 70 is the new 50 know what they're talking about. I'm not completely convinced, though, especially when my 40-something doctor addresses me as young man and then has the audacity to ask me if I've fallen in the past month. So, seriously, 80 is old, especially for Toastmasters. We all know that. Counting the Founders District F, we are the 8th district that was formed, and that was only 16 years after Dr. Smedley started Toastmasters. We are almost pioneers in this organization that now has 122 districts around the world. Did you know that we have 2 clubs in our district that are actually older than the district? You probably know what they are. Club 31, Portland, yep. Portland Club 31, and the Salem Toastmasters Club, which is club number 138. Yep. And those club numbers, of course, mean those were the 31st and the 138th clubs chartered in all of Toastmasters history. Most of us in this meeting are current or past leadership people in the district. So we know what it takes to keep a club alive and well, don't we? Yes, we do, don't we? Yes, heads nodding. And kudos to the many generations of Toastmasters who put in the work to keep those 2 clubs alive, especially those 2 that are older than the district. Of course, we also know that a lot of clubs have come and gone. So I want to recognize the many people who have started all the new clubs that now make up the district. Without those new clubs and members, we wouldn't be here to celebrate tonight. So thank you to them. Now it is my privilege to introduce our Toastmaster for this evening. He is probably not aware of the many ways he has been a role model for me over the years. During my 19 years, among other things, he helped with the demo meeting that launched my home club, Babylon Toastmasters. He is a past district governor and a past international president. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Gary Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. District Director. Hello, everyone, Toastmasters. Welcome to our 80th anniversary celebration. We were going to do this in person back in April, and then a little thing called COVID came along. So instead, we're celebrating now virtually, but this was too important of a milestone not to celebrate. So thank you for taking your time to be together here today to share this milestone. So PJ, you basically gave away my introductory remarks already. So let me just add. So yes, we've been a district for 80 years. We were the 7th district created because back then they named numbered districts in the order in which they were founded. So we were the 7th district created in the Toastmasters world. What other things happened 80 years ago? 1940. Well, did you know that the average salary was $1,700 a year? $1,700 a year was the average salary. The average cost of a new home was $3,900. A new car, the average cost of a new car was, are you ready? $850. A gallon of gas cost 11 cents. The world was engaged in World War II, but the United States had not joined yet. The president of the United States was Franklin Roosevelt, who was just elected to his 3rd term, the first and only president that had served at that time, up to that point, 3 terms. The first Captain America comic book was published. The 40-hour work week went into effect because prior to then, workers worked a lot more hours, although we still work more than 40, most of us. The Cincinnati Reds won the World Series. Gone with the Wind was the best picture. The top song of the year was In the Mood by Glenn Miller. And of course, our district was founded. Some of the highlights of just 80 years ago. A quick note, if you don't have one yet, please find a glass with a beverage of your choice. We'll be doing a toast later in this meeting. So at any point, go ahead and excuse yourself to get yourself a glass. filled with any beverage you wish. We're not going to police you on that. We do want to recognize our past district governors and past district directors, many of whom are on the call here today. And they're going to have an opportunity now to speak for very, very shortly, 1 to 2 minutes only. That's very, very short for a past district governor or director, but 1 to 2 minutes only. Share the highlights of your year when you served as district governor or district director. 1 to 2 minutes only. We're not going to time you, but if you go long, I will cut your screen off. I'm kidding. I will ask you to please wrap it up. So we're going to go in order of service from the longest ago to the most current. And based on who I see on the screen, the longest serving district governor is me. So I'll start. I served in the year 2001 to 2002. The highlights of that year, obviously, was when September 11th, 2001 occurred, right just a few months into the Toastmasters year. As if you were alive during that time, you remember what a tragedy that was. But also here in Oregon and Washington and California, our district, most Toastmaster clubs stopped meeting for a week or two after that event. Many area contests, which were in full swing at that point, had decided to cancel because people didn't feel comfortable meeting. And we considered canceling our fall district conference, which back then we had a fall conference and a spring conference. And I remember Adele was on the team at that point, and we decided, no, this was important. And we needed to keep building community, even though there was a great deal of fear, even here in our state back then. So we did have our conference, and we had United States Senator Gordon Smith be our speaker. And we had Sue Hildick, who is the CEO of the Oregon Red Cross, and we had a wonderful event. So that's a very memorable moment that occurred during that year. And I was also pleased that we built a really strong leadership team where the following 7 district governors all served that year, either as an area, division governor, or as a committee chair. So I'm very grateful that we built a strong team that continued 7 years after that year finished. So those are my highlights of the year 2001, 2002. The next district governor was in 2002, 2003, Adele O'Neill. Adele, please share your memories.
Thanks, Gary. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank Patrick McGinty and Alan Ettinger for encouraging me to join Toastmasters back in 1991. Toastmasters has been the best thing I have ever done, not only to help others, but for myself personally. 2002, 2003 was an absolute wonderful year serving as district governor. There was a fantastic team of area and division governors and all the other people that I got to work with. Our theme that year was Together We Soar, and boy, did we. Because of such a great team, District 7 finished the year 11th in the world, a select distinguished district. That by itself does not mean a thing, because I still believe this. When I think of all of the educational awards and all of the contests and all of the things that the individual members did and earned and the areas and divisions that were distinguished, it makes me so happy and so proud that so many members achieved their goals. And honestly, that's what Toastmasters is about. That year was about recognition for everyone that played a part in helping every member to have fun, to help them build their confidence, to have fun, help others. And did I mention have fun? So let's continue to have fun, District 7.
All right, thank you, Adele. Please show your sign of appreciation. There you go. Next, we have 2008-2009 District Governor Ann Snelling. Ann, please share your memories.
Thank you, Gary. 2008-2009 was a great year in many respects. One of my fond memories was the team that I got to work with. And those 2 gentlemen are present on this call. They are Scott Stevenson and PJ Kleffner. We had an amazing time working together. When we started out, there was a little bit of, oh my goodness, is this going to really work? We had me, who was a professional musician, and two guys who were engineers. But we figured it out, and we had a great year working together. The theme for that year was put your whole self in. Every meeting, we had fun. And that theme, put your whole self in, came from the last verse of the Hokey Pokey. So every meeting we had to stand and sing the Hokey Pokey and put your whole self in and turn yourself around. So that is something that people in the district still remember and associate with me. It was Adele who kept saying to me, "Ann, make it fun. It's a year of leadership and a lot of hard work, but make it fun." It was Gary Schmidt who early on as a young Toastmaster said to me, "Ann, you would make a great district governor." And I said, "No, Gary, I don't want to be that." He didn't ever argue with me, but every time he saw me, he said, "Ann, think about being a district governor." So I learned a great lesson from Gary about planting seeds in people who are good leaders, or you see have the potential to be a good leader. And that just keeps harvesting down the road as new people step up to be district governor. So appreciate that, Gary, for what you did. And the opportunity to serve District 7 was wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ann, so much. Next, 2009-2010 District Governor Scott Stevenson. Scott, please share your memories.
I will do that. Although my memories are getting harder and harder to come by these days. Getting older, you know, it's a challenge. But after Ann's year, we were on kind of a roll. You know, Ann was a distinguished district. So that was, of course, what our goal was as the incoming team. And my incoming team, I had Kathy Armias as my LGET, and Devaney was my LGM. And we met often, sometimes in my office, sometimes in strange places, but we met often to keep constantly in sync with our goal and what we were planning to do. And we had some adventures, quite a few adventures. We came up with a theme. Well, my theme was imagine, believe, and achieve. But Kathy originally said, let's come up with a thing that says, just do it. We had to remind her. Nike had already beaten her to that. So she grudgingly accepted the secondary thing, which was imagine, believe, and achieve. For some of those out there, some of the long-serving Toastmasters out there, you might remember, we had an underlying theme, and that was service. That was what we wanted to give to the district. We were the leaders, and I don't know if you remember this shirt. Remember this? That was another one of one of the things that we came up with that year, and we wore them at all the meetings, and I think in meetings beyond my year. So we had a lot of fun doing all of these things. I have some memories of some of the things that we did. I remember trips to the high desert speech contests, where we'd get up at dark 30 and drive down to Chiloquin. And we'd always meet at the InFocus parking lot, and Devaney would come, always brought her computer because she never quit working. And then Kathy would show up in her fuzzy pink slippers and bring her pillow, and where she would sleep all the way down there. And then we'd go to attend the contest and then come back. On one of those trips coming back, Kathy insisted that we go geocaching, you know. So off we went, and we finally found the spot after many, many wrong turns. And with geocaching, you take something and leave something. So we took something, I'm sure Kathy has it in her collection somewhere. And then we left an Imagine, Believe, Achieve pin, which I'm quite sure is still there. I remember trips with Alan to the prison clubs, specifically one, it was, I believe, the Oregon State Penitentiary. And Alan came right out of work, and I met him there. And we ran into a problem right away because Alan was wearing a blue shirt. And then, of course, a blue shirt is a sign of a gang affiliation type of thing. So they wouldn't let us in. So we had to scramble around to get Alan a shirt. We found a white shirt and put it on. And I think that's prison speak for "we surrender." And we went into the contest and then came out, and Alan returned the shirt and put on his blue shirt and went home. So probably one of the fondest memories I had during that year was the trip to the International Convention in Connecticut in 2009. And that's the convention that Gary Schmidt was elected to be international president. And that was really quite a ceremony. And I will remember that, and at the president's dance after the main event, watching Kathy and her sister take over the stage as they, I don't know what they did, but they sort of mesmerized the audience, but it was quite a thing. We really had a great year. Devaney did a great job going out, starting clubs. Unfortunately, the number of clubs we lost equaled the number of clubs Devaney started, so we kind of broke even at the end of the year. But we really had a good time in doing it. It was a growing experience for both me and my team, and I am so glad that Gary Schmidt talked me into running for the trio. And that's how I got there. And I think we all enjoyed it very much.
Thank you, Scott, very much. Thank you. Our 2011-2012 District Governor, Devaney Bywaters. Devaney, please share your memories.
Hi, everybody. Well, I had huge shoes to follow. You heard from all of those previous to me that I followed. So that gave me lots of mentorship to follow. And I live in Salt Lake City now. And when I see your faces, all these memories are coming back of Anne and Phyllis and Leanne and Scott and Gary and many of you who are mentors that you have no idea in all your small little ways. So going down the list of my fond memories and some of my special moments are the long hours. Oh my gosh, with Rose, who was Lieutenant Governor of Education, and then Sharon of Marketing. And just like Scott mentioned, we spent hours and hours going through the budget and planning meetings. And this was kind of the new age that Kathy brought in of video recording and a little bit more online, a little bit more technical. So we were working with some new tools that gave us some challenges. So the things I remember most, though, are driving to all of the different contests and all of the different clubs and seeing the inspiration and the dedication from the coast to the high desert, to the prisons, to youth clubs and everything in between. District 7, I have to say, after being out here in Utah, there's nothing that compares. District 7 is resilient. District 7 is, you are a community, right? A community that sticks together. And I miss that from being here in Utah. So moving on my list, certainly inspired by all the different clubs that I was able to visit. Watching leaders be made. When you're district governor, you have opportunity over a span of years visiting clubs to see people grow. And many of us are on the call today. And that's really exciting to know that you're having an influence on that in some way. I would like to thank Anne. I think, Anne, you were my first step into some leadership when you asked me to help with probably the spring conference, I think, to plan the educational tracks for the spring conference. So that was fun. And then Adele, I totally relate to having your arm twisted or no, encouraged to join the leadership team. Thank you, Scott Stevenson. Although I think I owe that really to Dick Mosier for nominating me into that leadership track. Dear man that he was. So I want to thank you, Scott. I could not have done my year without Scott. As I said, I had big shoes to fill, and he kind of kept those shoes there for me to walk in. I feel like my legacy, we didn't have a stellar year of new clubs. I think lots of individuals achieved their personal goals, but I feel like I left a legacy of bench strength. And I look on the screen here and I see Phyllis and I see Leanna and I see many of you who are still there who began your leadership tracks during that era. And so it didn't erode after I was done. You always want to make sure it goes on. So with that, I just want to thank the whole entire district, because it takes, and Leanna, I think this is your quote, it takes a district to raise a Toastmaster. The leadership I gained has done nothing but serve me well in my role, which was nothing but doing public speaking and running meetings for my last 2 jobs. So thank you, everyone. It's so fun to see everybody again.
Thank you, Devaney. Our 2015-2016 district governor, I'm sorry, 2014, did I say that? 2014-2015 district governor, and our last district governor ever, because this is the year Toastmasters International changed the title. But our last district governor of ever was Phyllis Harmon. So Phyllis, please share your memories.
Thank you, Gary. I remember my role as district governor as a lot of work, lots and lots of work, sprinkled with a lot of fun and excitement and learning new skills. I had a very strong team. Michelle Albalim and Leanna kept me hopping, I can tell you. They had great ideas, things they wanted to do, and it was my job, in my opinion, to let them do them. So I gave them enough rope to either make it or break it. And we had our challenges, but I think in the end, we came out a much stronger team because of the challenges we faced. We did finish the year as distinguished, the second in my trio area. So that was always good. It was a year we went to Kuala Lumpur, if I remember correctly. I'd never been overseas to a country like that. So that was a lot of fun also. Legacy, I think what came out of that for me was a much stronger understanding of different personality types. Of course, Voices was created that year, and it is still going strong with all of you who have contributed and continue to contribute to its success. For the members, I think my fondest memory was when we had the transition and everybody did the hat dance. I don't know if they were happy that I was gone or going, or that they were celebrating the fact that we'd had a successful year. I leave that to you to make that decision. I started in this leadership track because of Devaney and because of Anne. I was on her one of her conference committees, and she kept giving me odd looks. And it wasn't long after that that Devaney approached me and asked me if I would step into education coordinator. And I'll always remember, I said, Devaney, I don't know anybody. She said, you will. And I do. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Phyllis. 2015-2016 district director, our first district director ever, Michelle Albalim. Michelle, please share your memories.
Thank you, Gary. And I was going to say I was the first district director, but you said that already. Yes, that was one of the memories I had, because we were the first, our class, and we went crazy in DC. We had t-shirts and we had, it said first class district director. And we had another shirt that said district director. So it was a big thing for my batch. But moving backwards, because my year as district director would not make as much sense without the context that in 2011, when I knew that we would be moving from Founders District from Southern California to Oregon, I was at the Las Vegas convention and I posted a sign on the bulletin board and I said, hey, paging District 7 leaders or anyone from District 7, I am a Toastmaster from Founders District, formerly from the Philippines. We're moving to Oregon. Please connect. And I was, I think, a volunteer at the Golden Gavel lunch or something, when these 3 individuals in black shirts came up to me. Devaney was one of them, Rose Wellman, and Sharon Kuroda. And they hooked up with me and they said, we're waiting for you to come to the district. So I've already felt welcome in District 7 before I even moved. Maybe that was why during my first conference, a few months in the district, I figured I was going to step up to district leadership, maybe. And Gary Schmidt was the one who helped me stay the course, because when I realized how impulsive and crazy that statement was, he said, no, just focus on your experience. Just don't mention too much about how briefly you've been in District 7, and that really worked. And one of my special memories is how District 7 just came together. Friends from all over the district helped me out. I was so ignorant of the district. Somebody posted once about Lebanon starting a club, and I posted in Facebook, wow, we are truly an international group. And somebody posted back, no, it's Lebanon, Oregon, not Lebanon, the Middle East. And then there were so many memories, but really it's the fun. I think because maybe I'm just a crazy person, I wanted to have fun, and so fun we had. And I remember Ginger being one of the people helping out initially and all the way having fun during the district conference where we had crazy talent. District 7 has talent. And I'm watching my clock, but sorry, I just have to add this other point. We had so much fun developing ideas, crazy ideas, some of them, but some of them I think have stuck with the district, like the idea of spreading the conference in other places, not just in Portland or in thereabouts. We've had Eugene. Before that, we had down in Seven Feathers. And during my term also, there were several things that were first, not just first district director, but that was when Pathways was mentioned first. But it sounded so far into the future. So we're like, yeah, fine. It's 2 years down before it rolls out. But it was announced during my term. And also the phase 1 online clubs with online attendance started. At least it was announced, and eventually I was one of the first to join that. So there were just so many special memories. And one last, before Gary mutes me, we had the visit of the first international vice president, Balraj, and I could talk on and on about that, but I know Gary is raring to mute me. So I just love being in the district. Although right now, actually, I'm speaking from a camper RV in California, but I love District 7. I would not miss this for anything. Thank you so much, Leanna, for reminding me that you had sent an email, and again, reminding. Thank you. Everyone in the district, especially the people on this meeting right now, are just phenomenal. Back to you, Gary.
Thank you, Michelle. Our 2016-2017 district director and our event chair of this event tonight, Leanna Lindquist. Leanna, please share your memories.
Thank you, Gary. I had a very interesting year. Our our club growth director didn't move up the chairs as one would expect. So we had a brand new program quality director who had not served a year. And that was Donna Stark, who's a very experienced leader within the district, but she stepped over a chair and came in. And then we had Kathy French. So I had two newbies on my team to start the year. We started with a board retreat at a church camp outside of Salem, where all the directors got together and we trained and spent the night and ate meals together. And it was just a great way to get our year together as leaders started. And then I think it was either right at the end of the year or the very 1st of January, Kathy French had to drop out as the club growth director. We had to bring another newbie on board in the middle of the year. And that too is an experienced Toastmaster, John Rodkey, who is the young whippersnapper of the group. We went from the 3 old ladies. We just had 2 old ladies and a whippersnapper then. So we were getting to know each other again mid-year. And that's when we had Snowmageddon. Sure, all of you will remember that deep, deep snow that was just absolutely everywhere. I couldn't get out of my street for 9 days, and I had to make the decision to postpone TLI that year. And I just want to let you know, we're not postponing it this year. It is December 5th. It is online, so unless there's a major power outage in the entire state of Oregon, we will have TLI. That year, we did radio ads, which were kind of fun to turn on the radio and hear about Toastmasters. So that was something that was new. And I have to say, just like others before me, that I had my mentors. My son took me to Marylhurst Toastmasters meeting for their June potluck. And I always carry my checkbook with me still to this day. And I wrote a check out and I signed on the dotted line, and that was 2009. And with Devaney, who gave me my very first district job as the district education coordinator. And I must not have done it right because I'm back doing it again this year. I had to have do-overs. And that's how I met Phyllis, because she passed her job on to me. And we have done a lot of that over the years now. And of course, Scott Stevenson, huge mentor of mine, who challenged me to get my DTM, which I have to say was one of the most memorable days of my life, was to get my DTM. And I now have 4. I don't think I've caught up with him, but I continue to work on that. And it's just been a fabulous experience to be a Toastmaster. And another one of my very great mentors is Gary, who, if you're in the trio, Gary is your mentor. He's the one who talks you down off the roof, and he's your cheerleader. You can do this. And it's been a great experience. It's a lot of work, but no, it's like getting a master's degree in volunteerism, so to speak. Oh, I love being a part of District 7. We are a fabulous district, and I just miss seeing all of you in person. And I hope we can do that sometime in 2021. Back to you, Gary.
Thank you, Leanna. Our 2017-2018 District Director, Donna Stark. Donna, please share your memories.
Thank you, Gary. I had been asked before if I would consider district leadership, and I said, no, not for me. No, thank you. And then Phyllis called, and I found out I'm just a girl who can't say no. My year was when the revitalized education project that we had heard was 6 months down the road, actually arrived. And so that was our focus that year. We did it with a team of ambassadors. There are several of you on the call. And James Wantz, who just really took the opportunity that Pathways presented and ran with it. We discovered that this district is spread out. So Panera Bread, they're everywhere. That became the district office. We did training there. We had meetings there. Panera Bread, they should have a Toastmasters logo on the door. Like everyone here, I've gained so much from Toastmasters, and the relationships I've made really top the list. John Rodkey and I logged a lot of miles on I-5. We call ourselves the Central Division Carpool. Rooming with Emily at trainings and conventions. And I really could go on and on about just about every person on this call. I discovered that relationships are important to me. That's what I focus on in my leadership style. And I thank every one of you here oh so much for an opportunity that I'll never forget. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Donna. Our 2018-2019 District Director, John Rodkey. John, please share your memories.
So my theme was get out of your comfort zone and into your growth zone. That was the truth with our year. We started the Pathways rollout with some awesome guides and delivering training as much as we could, but then we really were, Pathways was opened up. I really want to thank Scott Stevenson and James Wantz for really making that happen with the teams and helping support, and then James running with it and keeping people trained. And that training was provided all around the world. All these different district leaders were calling me going, who's your training guy? How can I take these materials? And James was like, let's share it. So we just shared it and it went viral in the Toastmasters community. So that was really cool. And so thank you for everybody who helped support James in that effort. And with all of the other guides providing all of the feedback and the changes. We did a giant R&D experiment and we were able to deliver a lot back to Toastmasters because of the feedback of this amazing team that we put together. Along with that change, I tried to embrace technology a little bit more because we were going digital with our manuals. So using Google Drive for our district leaders, making it so that you had access to all the forms, all in the right spaces, so that we had no reason and no holdup for having people struggle to get those contests going, struggle to get presentations going, and it really made a difference. We also embraced Zoom and getting Zoom started within the district. I'm really glad we were able to set it up for now where it's an essential resource. And so we were familiar with it. We had some hiccups, definitely. Thank you for those that were patient on our district calls with it. We had some fun with that, but we laughed through it. Also had an amazing slate of leaders that really helped make our year a success. And a lot of them are on this call. I'm seeing at least 7 of our district or our division directors and area directors that have since stepped into awesome leadership roles. And so as Devaney said, creating a really strong bench, we did that with my year. We had a lot of new blood come into the district, and a lot of the amazing mentors who are on this call helped shepherd those people into the roles that they're in now. And you brought them up, you trained them, and you shared your wisdom. And so thank you so much for that. And coming from the younger generation, the millennials, it was really fun to embrace the technology and then see who embraced it. And oftentimes it was the biggest critics of Pathways that became the biggest advocates once they got into it. It was amazing to see because if somebody had enough passion to get in your face, and one instance I had spittle coming in my face from somebody so angry about the new program, and then she became an amazing advocate of it once she got into it. So the passions that Toastmasters have, because all of you care so much about this, that's what was really cool. So it was my honor to serve, and I learned so much from it, and I continue to learn so much from all of you. So thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, John. Our most recent district director, our immediate past district director, 2019-2020 district director, Emily Taylor. Emily, please share your memories. You're on mute, Emily. There you go.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Liana, for organizing this event. It was just now it's November. So 4 or 5 months ago I was the district director, still was. In my 3 years, I kept on saying this thing, it takes a village of Toastmasters to raise a Toastmaster. Well, it takes a village of Toastmasters to actually put on great events such as this one that we have. And that's really what, when I think about my year, 2019, 2020, I think about the team that we built. There was this picture that was the cover of our Facebook page. That picture is always so close to my heart because that was taken June 1st, 2019. We were all smiling. Maybe that was the time we were still together. We could still have those trainings in person. So we built a very good team. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I will always be known as along with my other friends that are district director during this time, as the COVID-19 district director. It happened during my watch. It happened in March when we had to switch, we had to pivot. And because we had a very good team of area directors and division directors, we were able to do our contest. We had done all our area contests. We had one Division A did in person, but 7 division contests were still on the books. And because of the team that we had, we were able to do it successfully, actually beautifully. We learned how to use Zoom. And that's really the whole thing about the Zoom business. It has become a worldwide event. We can have members from all over the world. Just I think it was Wednesday in our feedbackers meeting, we had somebody from Mexico, someone from Hawaii, someone from Malaysia attending the meeting. And that's really, the ushering of a new world in Toastmasters. It happened during my watch. Without the team that I had, I don't think that we could have, finished the year strong. I would also like to mention the candidate showcase. Thank you, Adele O'Neill. She was our district leadership chair last year. And from what I heard is that we've never done something like that. It was online, of course. But to me, I'm so proud that we were able to bring that back if that was ever a practice in our district, to do a candidate showcase, because the point of leadership is that we always really need to encourage everybody that it is not done deal until you go up there and step out and make sure that you you change your world by volunteering, by saying yes. We also had many DTMs. I think almost 48, 49. PJ would know the exact number. But the number of DTMs, because it was the end of the legacy program. So I'm so proud of that. And I want to thank
41.
41, which normally we get around 8 to 15 a year or during our conference. So that's really a big number. I'm so proud of that. I'm of course so proud of the team we had. We went back to almost monthly meetings, which has been carried on. We talk about legacy. I know PJ is doing that now. So hopefully we'll do the candidates corner or candidate showcase again. I'm the DLC chair. So there are some practices we're bringing back to our district. We have all these, the training coordinator. I think that was during my year when I suggested we need to have somebody. We have a difference from the education coordinator. Now we have an education/training coordinator. So we're building on things that we're doing. So I'm very happy about that. And I'd like to thank actually Kathleen for encouraging me to become an area director, Alan Taylor for suggesting me to be a division director, and I met Gary at the 30th celebration of Pakma Stepping Stone, and he was there ready to just like, Emily, you need to start. I was a division director. He encouraged me. He was always there for me. Liana, Phyllis, I'm not seeing, Scott Stevenson, all these people who helped me be the person and be the leader that I am. Thank you so very much. I didn't say your name. You're in my heart. Thank you, District 7. This is a wonderful district. I love you all. I'm so happy I served my year. And just continue, PJ. I know you're doing a wonderful job. And I know we have a change there in October of the trio. But I am so happy to finish the year with PJ as the PQD and with Eldred. We had a wonderful team. I just love both of them being part of my team. Back to you, Gary.
Thank you, Emily. Please, everyone, share your appreciation for all of the past district governors and directors who spoke today and who are not able to be here today. We thank them for their service. You heard some experiences from the last 20 years of district governors and district directors, but we have 80 years worth of memories and history, which you'll hear about shortly in just a moment. A common theme I heard from our leaders who just shared is the importance of encouragement and mentorship. How giving a gentle word of acknowledgement or encouragement or a gentle nudge to encourage someone to move forward into leadership has long-lasting impacts. So let's all be mindful to do that ourselves, no matter what our leadership role is here in Toastmasters. So thank you to our past leaders for sharing your memories. Next, I will turn it over to Leanna, who is going to share with us all a few slideshows of history of our district, of photos, and then some history as well. A reminder, if you haven't gotten your glass with a beverage, please do that because soon we'll have a toast in honor of our district. With that, Leanna, take it away, please.
Thank you. Well, we'll just see how great my Zoom skills are. So everyone just sit back and enjoy.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other you. Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum. You came along and everything started into hum. Still, it's a real good bet. The best is yet to come. Best is yet to come, and babe, won't that be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway. Wait till our lips have met. And wait till you see that sunshine day. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? Best is yet to come, come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. I'm gonna teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine. We're gonna drain the cup dry. Wait till your charms are right for these arms.
Bravo. Well done, Liana.
Bravo, Liana. Yeah.
Ooh, I see we had a little, one of them got stuck, but that's because Devaney was here and she came the furthest. She came from Utah and we wanted to look at her slide a little bit longer. I hope everybody that brought back a lot of good memories. Some folks that aren't with us anymore, and just some great things that happened in District 7 over the years. I noticed there was a lot in the chat. For some reason, I couldn't open it. So hopefully people weren't saying, oh, something's happening. Anyway, I have just a little history. Now, this is an absolute fraction of the history that's out there on the District 7 website. There is a gigantic PDF out there that you can access. So these is just a few little highlights, and we'll see. No music this time, but I want to thank my son Michael for running the music from his computer, because it would be like walking and chewing gum. I was not going to be able to do all that myself. We tried. It was a flop. All right, just a little bit of the District 7 history line. We already heard that our first club to charter in Oregon was the Eugene Toastmasters Club, the old Central Division. And then we know about Club 31. And it had two other names before it was finally renamed as the Portland Toastmasters Club. And here is the official charter for that. And that's really pretty. I've never seen a charter for my club. And Salem Club is still around also, that chartered in 1939. And something interesting, we used to be District 2 and we went clear up to Olympia, Washington. But it became too far to drive. So that's one of the reasons that they consolidated. That was our first district governor and our first international president. So we had one back in 1941 when we were just a new district. 1941 in Medford was our very first spring conference, and with the International Speech Contest. And then Toastmistresses, the first Oregon club, was in 1941. Lots happening in the 40s. And Astoria, I love this. How would you like me on Toast, Master, ? In the bottom corner. And I love this, Toastmasters Club songs. We're Toastmasters, all Toastmasters, learning how to rise and speak, though we often halt and stammer. We keep at it every week. Certainly glad that we don't have to sing a Toastmasters song. And this was probably the precursor to our club leaders handbook. And George C. Scott was a district governor and also past international president, and his club was Arlington. And long before Phyllis came up with Voices, we had something called the Timberline Newsletter. And it was still going at least through 1994. And now this is definitely before the branding really took over. We wouldn't get away with this now. And District 7, we're just here to continue making history. And that is a little tiny fraction of the history of District 7. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Leanna, very much. Yeah, let's share our appreciation for both the photo show and the brief history. There's more history on our District 7 website, of course. And Harvey Shoei, who is our district historian, has done years of incredible research and is still doing it, by the way. He's not done. And he has done fantastic work studying the history of our district, which will soon be complete and will be a great resource for all of us, current and future members of our district. So thank you. All right, next. This is an opportunity if you would like to speak and share your memories of your time in Toastmasters. This is a very, very quickly, because we want to be mindful of respect your time tonight on this Saturday evening. But if you have not spoken yet and you would like to share your memories of your time in Toastmasters, however short or long that's been, this is an opportunity for you to do that. So I'll ask you to either raise your chat hand or in the chat box, type your name, and then I will call on you from that order. So again, if you wish to speak, now you have an opportunity, very, very briefly, 1 to 2 minutes, share your memories of your time in District 7 Toastmasters. So either raise your chat hand or type your name in the chat box and I will call on you. Bryn, please go ahead.
Well, one of my favorite joys was bringing my daughter into Toastmasters for a year. And she did go to the contest with me. Both of us have done some awards at the area level. And of course, bringing my sister for the very first time to anything with Toastmasters when she watched me win the international contest for District 7. Those were highlights that, you know, they'll stay with me for life. And thank you. I hope one day to do some professional speaking. My boss is encouraging that. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Bryn. You raised a good, you reminded me, as we heard, we're fortunate in our district. We have had 3 past international presidents hail from District 7, Ernest Davis, George C. Scott, and myself. And we've had 2 world champions of public speaking from District 7, Ryan Avery and Randy Harvey. So far, so we can build on that great record. All right, if you would like to speak, please raise your chat hand or type your name in the chat box. Dave, are you raising your thumb as a good job, or do you want to speak?
I was not intending to, but I guess I can't turn down the opportunity.
Go ahead.
My favorite memory so far, I think, has to do with in the midstream of a conference, I guess 2 years ago, being asked to jump in as an area director. I get the world's slowest Toastmaster award for being in it for 10 years before even considering DTM at all. And I kind of made up for lost time within 1 year, meeting all of my requirements. But it was an incredible learning opportunity. And I've just gone headfirst into Pathways, having an absolute blast. I still feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean trying to learn how to swim, but it is so much fun. And it's been great getting to know so many of you and be part of the D7 team. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave, very much. All right, if you would like to speak, please raise your chat hand or type your name in the chat box. All these, I'm surprised all these Toastmasters and they're not jumping up to speak. That's okay, that's all right. But I'll give you one last chance if you'd like to say anything. Raise your chat hand or type your name in the box. Eldred, please go ahead.
One of the fond memories that I have of my 11 years now in District 7 Toastmasters is the humorous speech contests. For instance, I bet everyone here could probably remember Thomas Lunsford and No Shame. And some of the other great humorous speeches that I've heard in our district speech contest. I can't remember names and exact details, but I remember a funny speech about one flight attendant's adventures on various flights across country. And I think the first ever humorous contest speech that I heard, Jonathan Abuyan and his, what was it? He talked, one of the jokes that he told about how he prefers chocolate over tooth fillings or something like that. So just, I understand why we don't do the fall conference anymore, but that's one thing I really miss from not having the fall conferences is those humorous speech contests. I hope we can find some way to bring those back because that's been one of the highlights of my 11 years in D7 Toastmasters.
Great, thank you, Eldred, very much. All right, one last opportunity if you wish to speak and share any memories. Either raise your chat hand or type your name in the chat box. I am not seeing any more, so thank you those of you who shared your memories. We're now going to do a toast. So if you have your glass with the beverage of your choice, please put it in your hand and raise it up. A toast to District 7 Toastmasters in honor of its 80th anniversary of helping people become better leaders and communicators and growing confidence and helping us change the world. Our district has been through a lot, as has our world in 80 years. We're going through a moment in our history right now that none of us had prepared for. But here is to another 80 years at least for Toastmasters in Oregon, Southwest Washington, Northern California. May District 7 long survive and thrive and help grow Toastmasters. A toast.
Yeah.
Here, here.
All right. I would like to offer some few thanks before we wrap up our evening tonight. And then what we'll do is we'll stay on. So if you wish to talk informally, we'll keep the Zoom chat open, the Zoom room open. Otherwise, if you want to move on to your evening, please do. First, of course, I would like to thank all of you for being here and taking time away of your very busy day to celebrate our anniversary, which we did not want to leave uncelebrated this year because this is a big milestone, 80 years. It certainly is. I wish to thank our current leadership team, Lori, Eldred, and PJ for serving us as our district trio, our club growth director, program quality director, and district director. May you have great success this year as you lead and serve all of us, and we are here to support you in that effort. And then you will create your own memories that you will share at the 90th, 100th, 110th, 120th anniversary of District 7, which we'll all be around to celebrate. Thank you to Leanna for chairing this event tonight and chairing it back in April when we originally were meant to hold this. She pulled together a fantastic event, and I know Phyllis helped as well and many others. But thank you, Leanna, as always, for your leadership and having another successful event. And again, thank you to all of you for being here. So we're going to have a photo op now. So make yourselves, put your best, make yourselves look as good as you can. And for those of you who know how, you can do it, wait till I say so. Take a screenshot of your screen or use the snip function if you know what that means, or hold up your old-fashioned phone if you want to do it that way. But let's take a group photo. So first, if your camera's off and you want to be in the photo, now's your chance, turn your camera on. And then when I say 3, that's when we'll do the photo. So everyone get ready. Make yourself how you want to look. And everyone get ready to take the picture. Are you ready? So on big smiles, everyone. Smiles. There you go. I'll say 3 and then hold it for like a minute. So ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, smiles. All right. So with that, our formal festivities are complete. Thank you all so much for sharing our 80th anniversary celebration of District 7. Again, we'll keep the room open here. So if you have time to stay and chat informally, please do. Otherwise, thank you for being here and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.